Hello, friends. Welcome to the Career Guru Podcast. I am your host, Steve Yanovsky. What a glorious day it is to start your path on a new career. Doors are opening here at the Boston Career Institute even as we speak. And I'm here holding the key for you. So tune in, stay sharp, and enjoy yourself. This is going to be great. Hashtag Let's Career Up.
Good day to you, aspiring career gurus, conversationalists, all across the fruited plain. It is I, Steve Yanovsky, your career guru, reaching out to you once again across the waves of internet and all that magic that happens there in the background, that cyber universe. You know, it's an amazing thing that we got out there. We have a whole new universe out there in the cloud, in cyberspace. So much knowledge. It is incredible. Well, it is my pleasure to speak to you once again, and especially during this holiday season. We just got through Thanksgiving, and we're well on our way to Christmas and Hanukkah this year, falling out about the same time together. You know, divine providence, goodwill towards men, positive attitude, lighting up the world with all its in all its glory. We're all here together, my friends. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about positive attitude, which permeates this holiday season. Before I talk about that, I wanted to sort of pass and discuss briefly. I love Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday, and I had hoped to record a podcast before, but it didn't materialize. But just a few days passed, and right before Christmas and Hanukkah this year, I want to talk about positive attitude, and I believe I'm going to do a series of podcasts on positive attitude and how it can benefit you in your career. So, with that in mind, a little bit about what I know about Thanksgiving. And the message of Thanksgiving and the positive attitude of people who boarded the Mayflower all the 400 years ago, roughly, and sailed the seas. These were religious zealots who fled the religious tyranny of England and the Anglican Church, and they fled to Amsterdam. And then in Amsterdam, when a few years went by, they noticed that their children weren't quite as religiously zealous as the parents because they fell under the influence of the Renaissance and all that was blossoming. And they decided to seek their fortune and prosperity through divine providence in the New World. And the New World was this uncharted territory. While a few sailors made it to the shores of the United States, no one really knew what this place would bring except the utmost of freedom and isolation from the old ideas of Europe. These were people who placed their faith in the Lord and the divine providence that was going to see them through. 102 souls, and they traveled. The journey was very arduous, and this is not a cruise that we're talking about. We're talking about cold, wet, hungry, and they're heading into this great unknown, and yet they knew they were going to succeed. They based their entire existence on the divine providence. And they knew they were going to make it. They knew they were going to do it. And this is an interesting thing, how things play out, because just a few years before that, before their trip on the Mayflower, an interesting thing that happened. A British naval vessel landed in Plymouth before the Pilgrims landed on the Plymouth Rock, and that story you kind of know. But before that, a few English, Spanish ships in different parts of the what is now the United States landed in Plymouth. And, you know, as the times were, they stole a few people and they brought them to Europe. One of these people was named Squanto. Interesting name, interesting man. And he was an American Indian. Can't really call him a Native American because even they weren't really native to these parts. But whatever the case may be, they kidnapped Squanto and a few other people. And Squanto was a very interesting fella. He was, as Yogi Berra was called, Yogi the Bear, not Yogi Berra, the famous Yankee catcher with all of his aphorisms. No, Yogi the bear, Squanto was smarter than the average bear, and he came to live in Europe. First as a slave, and then as he was baptized, he was given his freedom and spent time living in England, and then somehow by hook or by crook made it back to his native land, right here in Massachusetts, in the Plymouth area. So he rejoined his people. And why am I telling you this story? Is because it's very interesting and how divine providence and positive attitude works. So he came and he learned English, and then he went back home. He was allowed to go back home. Fast forward 5 years, we have our pilgrims, and they're traveling on the full reliance of divine providence. They land here. They landed in November. So right about, November, December, you can imagine before all of our global warming and everything that's happening right now, it was a pretty cold and desolate place out here in Plymouth in November and December. All these people decided to live right here. And how were they going to live? Mayflower hung out for a few months, so they had some stocks over there so they can build with instruments and tools and so on and so forth. But they had no knowledge of how to properly grow things and so on and so forth. And they made it through their first winter. 40 people, I believe, passed away, and they started to work. While on the ship, they created this thing called the Mayflower Compact, and the leader of these pilgrims was one William Bradford. And they wrote this, that they were going to all work together. They were all going to put their money in a common stock, in a common store, so everybody would work together to help one another, goodwill towards men and that sort of thing. And well, unfortunately, that didn't work out the first year because, like many other social experiments, people don't really want to work for other people. They would do work best for themselves. And even those religious zealots who believed in various biblical principles such as charity and giving and so on and so forth. And remember, these were deeply religious men and women. That's how they got here, But even they refused to work for other people. And then they decided that they would, William Bradford said, well, that didn't work. Let's give each family their own plot of land. And lo and behold, they made it. Now, what happened now? The story of Turkey as we know it didn't really happen the same way. But who shows up on their doorstep but our old friend Squanto? So Squanto shows up and he speaks English. And that's what happened. That's the actual miracle, that this particular American Indian who spoke English was able to communicate with our pilgrims and disclose to them the secrets of how to deal with the turkey, how to plant corn, how to skin beavers, because beaver skin was very expensive in Europe. So after Squanto had given him all this aid, he sort of disappears out of their history, and the pilgrims begin to flourish on this land. So much so that soon thereafter, hundreds and then thousands more people show up based on their success right over here. And all of that due to their positive attitude. They were going to make it, and a little bit of divine providence. Well, a lot of divine providence. That's how they decided to do this. And so this positivity, this drive towards their belief that everything was going to turn out kind of inspires me year in and year out to do everything else. So the first Thanksgiving feast was a feast where the pilgrims and the local native population got together to celebrate. But it wasn't the fact that the Indians provided the turkey, this, that, and the other thing. No, it wasn't that. It was a gratitude, a day of thanksgiving to the Creator, to God Almighty, who saw them through this difficult time and got them through. This is what made this country great. The rugged self-reliance with the belief in divine providence, which is that spark of positive attitude that we must all carry through in our careers and our daily life today. I want you to understand that positive attitude is not just something that a person is born with. Yes, some people are born with this quality that they own, but for the rest of us, positive attitude is something that we must work on day in, day out, sometimes minute by minute, working on this extraordinary quality that propels us forward, that quality that shuns all negativity, that pushes away all the bad things that surround us, or seemingly bad things that surround us, because we don't really understand what truly is good or bad. It's a strange and wonderful world we live in, but we have some guidance. Amazingly enough, you should imagine how the Pilgrims and others who came after them lived here. It was no pleasure cruise on the Mayflower. There were no hotels, there were no huts, there were no homes, there wasn't a hotel, there wasn't a Motel 6 where they leave the light on for you. It was nothing. Barren, cold, awful place without any resources. And yet they persevered. How did they do it? Well, they did it through the power of prayer, through daily affirmations of the greatness of the Lord, and by extension, the people who believe in him. Now, I'm not preaching here. I'm just telling you how they did it. They had the reliance on the Lord. They had the reliance that all is good, that everything that God does is for the best. Did they have their moments of darkness? Certainly. When 1/3 of your people dies, you can't help but to believe that something is going to happen. Remember, there are no lights. The sun sets early this time of year, as you know, my friends. That's what makes all of our Christmas and Hanukkah decorations so beautiful outside. The lights are appearing in front of everybody's homes. You know, the menorahs are burning outside, and various other religious experiences all around the same time that brings out the light and the best in people. What is this hopefulness for peace on earth? What is this hopefulness for goodwill towards men? Do we have it in us to let that light shine through? Yes. Yes, we do. That's why year in and year out, we assemble around our tables in our homes with our families, with our extended family, sometimes the people we haven't seen in years, or at least in 1 year, and we talk, we eat, we drink, we sing sometimes, and we make happy. And for this 1 day or 2 days, or for this holiday season, we are able to make this light shine through no matter what happens. The power of positive thinking gets us through the dark times. And therefore, I am going to delve into this thing called positive attitude, how to find it, how to develop it, how to cultivate it, and how to make it push you forward. But this is for subject for another day. Today, I just want to wish you and yours a happy and healthy holiday season, no matter what you celebrate, as long as you celebrate it, and celebrate it wholeheartedly. Celebrate it with lots of love in your heart. Love yourself, and therefore love others. Give and give again. Give until it hurts, and then you will be rewarded with tremendous benefits as they come in. This is your career guru wishing you a happy, healthy holiday season, wishing you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, a Happy Hanukkah, or whatever holiday you celebrate. I'm with you. Celebrate it. Let's celebrate together. Write me some emails. Send me some notes of what you want. And I'm here for you. Wishing you all the best health, wealth, and time to enjoy it, and a wonderful new career for the new year. God bless you all. This is your career guru signing off.
Well, friends and aspiring career gurus, this was fun. Thank you for tuning in. I feel enlightened, I feel empowered, and I'm feeling grateful that we spend time with you. For more information about Boston Career Institute, please visit our website, bostoncareer.org. Boston Career Institute has 3 campuses located in Brookline, Massachusetts, Malden, Massachusetts, and Lowell, Massachusetts. Call our toll-free number 888-383-6058. For questions, comments, and/or information about our podcast, email me at thecareerguru@bostoncareer.org. The Career Guru podcast is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, our website, bostoncareer.org, or wherever you stream your podcast. Subscribe, stream, rate, and review our shows. Your rating and reviews help our show reach new audiences. Produced by PodPro Entertainment, The Career Guru lives within a network of podcasts located at podproentertainment.com. Hashtag The New Radio. Looking forward to seeing you soon. All the best to you. My name is Steve Yanovsky. I am the Career Guru. May God bless you. Hashtag Let's Career Up.